So I thought I'd just do a quick video. This is the same Espalier apple tree that I've shown in a lot of my other videos. I have not done much summer pruning this year. I think I came through once very early in the summer and did a pruning, but it needs another one. As you can see, it's really grown up. It's had a bad, it's becoming a little bit biannual on the top level. The Spartan, I think there's only 5 apples up there maybe. And the Golden Delicious, the center one, is also a bit biannual. The bottom one, Liberty, which is not a great quality eating apple, but it never is biannual. That it has a big crop every year, no matter how many apples it seems like it has the year before. I'll give you some close-ups of that, and then I will pan across here. This is my Espalier Pear. It's really heavily fruiting this year. The top level, the Bosque, has become biannual, I believe. And so last year it had no fruit, and this year it's got a lot of fruit. I've tried to thin it, but you also want a certain amount of fruit, so it's a hard juggling act to try to get it to fruit every year. And then down the row here, the next one is Fuji, and it's very biannual. That's very classic of Fuji, so it's got no fruit this year. And then the last one, I'll take a walk down here, is a Liberty again. So not the highest quality apple, but man, does it make a nice Espalier tree, because it produces every year a really nice crop. So you can see it's just, it's got a nice growing form for Espalier, and it produces really nicely. So as you can see there, it's just fully loaded down with fruit. So I'm going to do a summer pruning on these, and then I'll show you afterwards. So here it is after being pruned. You got to prune it pretty hard. If you want to have this form of tree for year after year after year, you better be willing to come in here and prune really real. Because this thing will turn into just a massive bush tree like any other tree form, left to its own devices within 1 year. You need to be pruning it to keep it in this form, and I'll show you. This is just what I pruned off that tree in the last 10 minutes. I'm going to go in here and show you a close-up of the kind of thing you're looking for. So here's one I just pruned this off, as you can see, fresh right there, but I'd prune this maybe an inch higher, the very beginning of the season, or maybe it was last winter. And what happened is this branch produced this shoot right here and another one right here, both lateral sideways growth. Hopefully one or both of those will turn into a flower spur. So by pruning it again right there, instead of having this water shoot, they call it, basically it means growth growing straight up, which that was. I come off there, all the energy will go into those 2 side bearing shoots, which if they aren't flower clusters at this point, it's more likely they'll turn into a flower producing area later on. Another example is right here. You can see I pruned there because they've got a little sideways growth. Sorry about the footage there. Sideways growth coming off there. I'd already pruned this not that long ago, an inch higher. So by doing that, it encourages the tree. Generally what it'll do is you'll prune it, it'll send one straight up, and it'll send 2 sideways. So the 3 buds below where you pruned will go, and you'll get 1 straight up and 2 sideways. I then come in and cut off the one that goes straight up, and you're left with the 2 that go sideways. Another example right here. See, I pruned this right here, and you've got a sideways, a lateral shoot, I think is what they call it, and another one there. So instead of those going straight up, they're going lateral. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And of course, I'm also looking to make this an attractive tree. This is not just all about getting apples. Part of it is the fact that it's in my backyard, and I'd like it to look attractive. So thanks for watching. As you can see just how many pears I have this year. It's amazing how a biannual tree will produce so many pears in 1 year that, I already thinned this a lot. So just shows if you really want big fruit, you got to thin really hard, cut off lots of fruit, And if it's a type of tree that does do biannual bearing, you got to thin it really hard.